Coming up on today's show, I'm going to list out the good, the bad, and the ugly from the New York Giants' Week 2 performance against the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody tells me I'm too negative and pessimistic, so let's talk about the good first. Before we do, though, I don't believe in moral victories in professional sports. I do not do that. But I am proud of the way the New York Giants fought yesterday. I'm extremely proud of the fight and resilience they showed, especially the offense. If you're proud of your New York Giants despite the loss, hit that thumbs up icon for me. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. My name is Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. I've rewatched the game 2 times, and I finished up the All-22 film this morning. So on today's show, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and let's start with the good. The best thing coming out of that game is it looks like the Russell Wilson-led New York Giants offense has found its footing. They were explosive yesterday. They created chunk plays. I believe Russell Wilson was 7 for 11 on throws that traveled more than 20-plus yards in the air. And we've said it time and time and time again. If you want to score points in this league, you got to create explosive plays. The Giants did that, and it's no shock that they scored 37 points, 500 yards of total offense, 422 yards through the airs after you take away the sack yardage. You didn't run the football all that well, 4 yards per tote, but you were able to get some tough yardage when you needed to. Unfortunately, a very costly interception by Russell Wilson. But overall, I thought he was great, man. He threw for 450 yards. It was the first time a New York Giants quarterback has done that, I believe, since Eli Manning. And I believe it was in 2013 in a game that you lost to the Dallas Cowboys. So isn't that pretty funny? Russ was awesome, man. When you needed to make a play, he went out and made a play. The Giants, with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on 4th down, he hits Wan'Dale Robinson for a 50-yard touchdown. Puts the team in the lead, in the driver's seat to go and win this football game. Giants defense allows Dak Prescott to drive it down their throat. Russell Wilson gets the ball again with under a minute left, and he puts 6 more points on the board, finding Malik Nabers. A beautiful moon ball from him, and it looked awesome. Russell Wilson looked like he's got this Giants offense ready to score points. I like the way Cam Scatterboo played yesterday. An extremely costly drop on 4th down. An extremely costly drop on 4th down. But he brings a swag, an energy, a confidence, and a physicality to this team. Mr. Contact Balance. That's why that's his nickname. Runs hard, runs in between the tackles. Had that awesome run when Jaxson Dart came in on that full house package zone read. Scatterboo found the lane, put his foot in the ground, got north and south. I believe he's the best running back on this team, and I thought by the end of the year he'd be RB1. I think we're getting there a little bit more and more. Malik Nabers. The Giants got one. The Giants got one of those guys in Malik Nabers. He is special. He is elite. He is dynamic. Both of the passes that he hauled in for touchdowns on Sunday were unreal. There's only a handful of human beings that could do what he does on the football field. Special player. He's going to be a Giant for a really long time, and he's going to be an impactful player for a very long time. He is the gas in the tank of this Giants offense. Keep fueling up. Keep giving him chances down the field. Major salute to Wan'Dale Robinson as well. I think he's been the brightest star in the sense of players that have shined the brightest when they were kind of thought that they weren't. The expectation coming in this year that Wan'Dale Robinson was not going to be in a similar type of role, a similar type of usage as last year. He has turned in from a check down merchant on 3rd and long to a big play machine down the field. All he does is move the chains. He did it in week 1 against Washington. He made big play after big play against the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. If you, James Hudson, don't get that extra contact penalty, unnecessary roughness, Wan'Dale Robinson puts up 190 yards. 190 yards receiving. Remember, first drive of the game, he catches the pass, gets down at the 2-yard line, wipes away a 55-yard gain, and there you are. Should have had 200 yards yesterday, Wan'Dale Robinson. Hell of a game. Good to see Wan'Dale and Malik Nabers look like real NFL receivers out there and carry this offense. Another awesome thing coming out of the game is Mbow looks like a stud on the offensive line. A rookie thrown into the fire was solid. Was he awesome? No. Was he perfect? No. Are there things to clean up? Absolutely. Is there a reason to be encouraged about what you saw from the 22-year-old rookie? Absolutely. 2 pressures allowed yesterday from Mbow playing left tackle. Someone can fact check me on this. I don't think he played left tackle at all in college. He was a right tackle. Gets thrown in to a spot that's tough after you just saw number 55 piss down his leg and cry about it. Mbow stepped in and he did an admirable job. Was he perfect? No. But man, it is a first awesome building block for the rookie. And the way I'm looking at it at this point is Mbow needs to be a starter going forward for this football team, even when Andrew Thomas returns. Like, we talk about the best 5 guys on the offensive line need to play. Mbow is a top 5 offensive lineman on this football team. If that means he goes to right guard and Greg Van Roten sits down, fine. If that means he goes to right tackle and you move Jermaine Illuminor to right guard, fine. If that means John Runyon needs to sit down and you want to put Mbow at left guard, fine. He's a top 5 offensive lineman on this team. He needs to play. He needs to be on the field. Joe Shea might have found one on the offensive line in round 5. He did find one, though, in the slot. Andru Phillips is a big-time football player. Andru Phillips doesn't back down from a challenge. He doesn't run from smoke. CeeDee Lamb did a lot of talking all week. Oh, I got something for Andru Phillips. He tackled me and he hurt me last week. The only penalty I did not have a problem with yesterday was when Andru Phillips pile-drived CeeDee Lamb into the ground yesterday and got an extra 15 yards tacked on. 1, it was a soft penalty. 2, sometimes football's about sending a message. And Drew Phillips sent a message to CeeDee Lamb yesterday, said, I am not the one to play around with. 11 tackles for Andru Phillips. 1 tackle for loss. 2 pass breakups and 1 interception. He did get beat on a touchdown from Kevontae Turpin. It's going to happen. But he was in coverage, and he did a good job yesterday throughout that game. I think the Giants have a long-term starting slot corner in Andru Phillips. Every time I watch this guy play football, I am blown away by the physicality and his ability to tackle as a man at 5'11", 180 pounds. The tackle that he had on this play was absolutely massive. 37. Massive play in the ball game. 3rd and 10 in overtime. If he does not make that tackle on Jalen Tolbert, he is off to the races, and the New York Giants would have lost the game earlier than they were supposed to. But he made a big tackle in open space, got his offense the ball back with a chance to go and win the football game. Unfortunately, they did not do it. I'm proud of the way that Andru Phillips plays football. I'm glad he's a New York Giant. And I think he's going to be the starting slot corner for this team for the foreseeable future. I also want to give a round of applause to Kayvon Thibodeaux and Brian Burns. Those 2 guys are the DNA of this football team. And Kayvon has had a hell of a year in the first 2 games. A lot of chatter this offseason, some by me. He's made a shut up. And Brian Burns is putting together an all-pro type of season. Brian Burns has earned the right to have a C on his chest. I am happy and I am proud that Brian Burns is a captain of my football team. 3 tackles yesterday for Burnsy, 2 tackles for loss, another sack, 5 pressures, and 3 stops. Marshall, what is a stop? A stop is a play that is deemed as a negative for the offense. Brian Burns had 3 of those. But man, salute to Kayvon Thibodeaux. Give me some 5s in the comment section. 5 tackles for Thibodeaux. Another tackle for loss. Another sack. 5 pressures. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 stops on defense for Kayvon Thibodeaux. It's a contract year essentially for him. He's out there bag chasing, and if he does that, it's going to mean more plays that end up in a successful manner for the Giants. Extremely proud of the way Kayvon Thibodeaux and Brian Burns played football yesterday against the Cowboys. It was a lot of fun to watch, and their effort, the effort is what stood out to me in the All-22 film. So that was the good. There was some good coming out of that game. but a loss is a loss. Before we get to the bad and the ugly, I want to hear from you in the comment section. What is your most positive takeaway you have following that Week 2 loss for the New York Giants? Let me know in the comment section. Also, get your polo today. This polo is on sale. It won't be forever. It was $55. Now it's $29. Chatsports.com/NYG polo. Link is clickable in the comments and description. All right, the bad versus Dallas. There's a lot of talk, from myself included, that Shane Bowen cost the New York Giants this game. Not backing off that take. I do believe it. But it takes two to tango. The coaching on the defensive side of the ball was bad, but the execution, the fundamentals were also bad by the New York Giants defensively, especially when it mattered most. The missed tackles were backbreaking for the Giants yesterday. 11 missed tackles in totality. I get it. You don't practice tackling in the offseason anymore. There's not that many fully padded practices. The Giants don't bring players to the ground in practice. But there was 11 missed tackles yesterday that seriously cost the New York Giants yesterday. Look at this play right here. The New York Giants are down 16-3. Somehow, some way, this is a 30-yard touchdown run by Javonte Williams. You can't even see Javonte Williams in the picture. But the Giants over pursue. They do not tackle. And it's a 30-yard touchdown for Javonte Williams on 1st and 10. 30-yard touchdown. Your inside linebackers are not NFL players. Bobby Okereke is better. He was better this week. He can't cover, and he over pursues there, and touchdown Dallas. The one that hurt the most, though, 37. Overtime. 2nd and 29. 2nd and 29 with 4 minutes left in the game. An opportunity to force a 3rd and 29. Because there's Abdul Carter. There's Chauncey Golston. There's Dane Belton. All ready to make a tackle, except they all missed the tackle. And on 2nd and 29, Javonte Williams picks up 19 yards on the ground. That was the ball game. Like, missing tackle after tackle after tackle. That's extra yardage for an opposing offense. Tyler Nubin, the Giants need more from you, my man. Tyler Nubin needs to be better. 3 missed tackles yesterday. He was supposed to be a turnover-creating, play-making safety that could play in the box. Through 18 games of his NFL career, I have not been, 19 games now, I have not been impressed with Tyler Nubin. Not playing like a second-round pick. It's not good. It's not good. The fourth quarter in overtime defense for the New York Giants was very bad. And ultimately what cost you this football game, as well as the penalties, which we'll get to a second. The Giants defense versus the Dallas Cowboys in the fourth quarter and overtime allowed 148 yards across 20 plays. That's 7.4 yards per play. A defense and how good they are is measured when they are needed to be their best, when they have to get stops. When they have an opportunity to win a game, they go and do it. Giants didn't do that. They had the lead after the Russell Wilson touchdown to Wan'Dale Robinson with 2:55 left in the ballgame. They gave that lead up. Russell Wilson does it again, finds Malik Nabers for 50 yards with less than 50 seconds left in the ballgame. They don't get a stop there. The Giants' defense was not good enough when it needed to be its best. And the complementary football is missing in action for the Giants. When the Giants' offense has to be great, they weren't great in overtime. They couldn't be stopped in the fourth quarter. They needed to be great in the fourth quarter. I get it. They were awesome. They were not good in overtime. When the Giants' defense has to be great to go and win the football game, they do not. And it comes back to the little things. Red zone offense, red zone defense. The New York Giants have moved up from the 32nd best red zone offense to the 31st red zone offense. The Giants are not good enough to leave points on the board. I know a lot of people are going to talk about Marshall. They shouldn't have went for it on fourth down following that Andru Phillips interception. Sure, that sounds good, but how about Cam Scadaboo just catch the football? How about you just execute? How about you just do what's needed to win a football game? Cam Scadaboo catch that football, chains are moving, we're going to go punch it in for 6. And I don't have a graphic for this, but your red zone defense is the second worst in the National Football League as well. So you have the second worst red zone offense and the second worst red zone defense in the NFL. How are you supposed to win? How? And to the ugly from the game. Penalties. We all know it was bad, but it makes it that much worse when you sit back and you realize you lost this game because you were undisciplined. Undisciplined. You didn't play as a professional football team. Jordan Renan saying the Giants were flagged a ridiculous 21 times in Sunday's loss to the Cowboys. 3 times on the same play. James Hudson, 4 times on the same drive. Unprecedented. The 14 accepted penalties for 160 yards was the worst penalty yards in a game by the Giants this century. The 14 accepted penalties for 160 yards was the most penalty yards in a game by the Giants this century, ladies and gentlemen. Falls on your head coach. Falls on your head coach. I wanted to read this from Dan Duggan. They also lost 213 yards of actual yardage when you factor in the swing on positive offensive plays. I.e., example, they lost 48 yards of field position on the penalty on the opening kickoff. They set the tone for the game. On the opening kickoff, sacrifice yourself 48 yards. Then Tyron Tracy has a big run off the left side. Holding, 18, offense. And then Mr. Flag Boy, so we're calling him, James Hudson, on the first drive of the game. 4 penalties, 2 unnecessary roughnesses, 2 false starts, and 1 sack allowed. It's actually impressive how bad he was and how undisciplined he was and how much of an impact he left on this football game. Unreal. The ugly as well, the defensive philosophy. The way the New York Giants are coached to play defense is losing football. Bend, but don't break. That's what Shane Bowen wants to do. Except in the red zone, you're the second worst defense in the NFL. But when you had a chance to win the game, when you had a chance to flex your muscles on defense, Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Bobby Okereke, Javon Holland, Tyler Nubin, Paulson Adebo, all the big names, all the priority picks, all the big money. 2nd and 10. Ball at the 33 of Dallas. 14 seconds left. You couldn't get a stop. You couldn't get a stop. The players didn't make enough plays, but the defensive coordinator of Shane Bowen did not put the Giants players in position to be successful. How are you playing off coverage like this in a moment of this magnitude? This is the play that Jake Ferguson just hooked up in the middle of the field for an 18-yard gain. Thing is, with the way that the Giants are playing defense, there were 3 other guys that were wide open on that play. Wide open on the play. Wide open on the play. We'll go to the next picture here. You could see it. Player at the top of the screen, wide open on a 16-yard stop route. Player at the bottom of the screen, wide open on a 16-yard stop route. And Jake Ferguson, wide open in the middle of the field for an 18-yard stop route. Got the Cowboys in position to make a field goal, send it to overtime, and win the football game. So the players did not execute, but the coaches did not give them a winning script. were playing 15 yards off coverage when the Cowboys needed 15 yards to send the game to overtime. Prevent defense prevents you from winning. I knew it when I was 8 years old, and it was on display on Sunday. Giants played prevent. Cowboys made them pay, and you're 0-2. The ugly as well. Last one. The inside linebacker play and the inside linebacker depth is a major issue for the New York Giants. There's a reason the New York Giants have given up the most rushing yards in the National Football League this year. Partially because their interior defensive line is not all that great outside of Dexter Lawrence, who hasn't put together a sexy Dexy type of impact yet. But Micah McFadden is hurt. Darius Muasau had a concussion. Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles did not play. And you had Chris Board, a special teamer, playing inside linebacker. And you also had a linebacker called up from the practice squad that went out and played. And he wasn't very good either. So there it is. Some good, some bad, and some ugly. A mixed can for the New York Giants. But ultimately, it doesn't matter what was good because you lost. And you're 0-2 for what, the 7th time in 9 years and the 10th time in 13 years? But hey, did you know the 2007 Giants were 0-2 and won the Super Bowl? It was a gut-punching loss. I'm still not over it, but I'm gonna still continue to roll with this football team. I will ride and I will die with the New York Giants until my last breath. If you're with me, hit that thumbs up icon. If you love this football team, no matter what, you bleed Giants blue, hit that thumbs up icon. And make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram @MarshallGreen_.